In this episode, we look at a science quiz here. Section 1. Some organisms and objects emit or give off their own light. Place a tick on each row to indicate whether or not the group supports or does not support this statement. So here, group support or supports and does not support. So Earth, starfish, star, and jellyfish. So Earth does not give off its own light. So this one does not support. Anglerfish, sun, parrotfish, no. Anglerfish, yes. Sun, yes. Parrotfish, no. So if any part of the answer is wrong, then all of it is wrong. So this does not support. Peeny sun, and jellyfish, and that would support. And these are luminous. They give off their own light. Let's look now at this part for 2 to 10. It says complete test items 2 to 10 by circling the correct answer for each test item. Number 2, the sun is lit by a and dash light. By which one? Is it luminous, non-luminous, or artificial? And it would be luminous light. So it or luminous body. It does not make its own light. So something else is shining on it, the sun, so that it will look bright. Number 3, some objects are illuminated because some of them are illuminated. Now, once we hear illuminated, we know that they are not making the light, just like the moon. Okay? They are illuminated because they emit their own light? No. They wouldn't be illuminated. They would be what? Luminous. Okay. Give off their own light? It's because they do not emit their own light. Why it is that they are illuminated? Number 4, Tariq had just finished swimming in the pool. As he came from the pool, he looked at it and observed that it seemed shallower than it actually is. If you were to explain to Tariq why the pool seems shallower than it actually is, which would you tell him? Light rays reflected from the bottom of the pool changed something when they reached the surface of the water. So the light is moving from the medium called water and it's now going into the air, right? So it changed what? Speed and direction? Speed or direction. So source of speed, source of direction, or both speed and direction. And the answer here would be speed and direction. So we have to be very careful with water bodies because we can, think that it is a certain depth and we are totally wrong. Number 5, the speed of light increases as it travels from water to air, water to solid, or air to solid. Now, this question has to do with the density of the medium. Okay, so water and it slows down as it goes from a less dense medium to a dense medium and speeds up as it moves from a dense medium to something that is less dense. All right, so here we go. Now I'm going to start with C. Air to solid. Now, air is less dense than a solid, so that means that it would slow down. Water to solid. Water is less dense than a solid, so that means that it would slow down. However, A, water to air. Water is denser than air, so moving from water to air, it would speed up. Number 6. Andre went in search of objects that use the properties of refraction, that's a bending of light. Which items is Andre most likely to identify? Camera, movie projector, newspaper. All right, newspaper out, right? Telescope, prism, textbook out. So that option is not good. Peephole indoors, camera, and spectacles or glasses. And that's the answer that we would take. Use figure 1 to answer test item 7. Look, figure 1. So we have a flashlight here. They say torch, and this is a light source. Then we have some holes in probably what look like cardboard, and then we have the eye over this side, and we can see a ray of light going all the way. All right. So number 7, the light rays reach the eye because one, the holes are aligned. The holes are not aligned. 3, here, light rays travel in a straight line. All right, so the holes must be aligned because if one is out, it's going to be blocked. And we know that one of the properties of light is that it travels in a straight line. So this number 7 would be 1 and 3. That would be option A. Let's look at 8 now. When looking at a textbook through a bent straw or a straw bent, the textbook was not seen because, 1, light rays cannot travel in a curved line to the eye. Okay, the path of light was blocked. Light cannot travel around the cardboard to the eye. It would be 1 and 2 because I'm not seeing any cardboard here to be associated with this one, number 8. Okay, so I would take 1 and 2 because no cardboard is mentioned here. Looking at the textbook through a bent straw, the textbook was not seen because this is associated. I think this one is more associated with the previous one, this one, than with anything else. So I'd go with A. Use the information to answer test item number 9. All right, so Paul placed a coin in the cover of a jar. He then walked backward on while looking at the coin until he could no longer see it. Andrew told Paul to stop while walking and keep looking as he poured some water in the jar cover. Paul then shouted, Eureka! I can see the coin now. Right? And this is something that you can try as well. It works. Paul was able to see the coin again because the speed and direction of the light changed as it moved from what? Air to water, water to air, and no, the last one would be solid to water. Okay, so which of these would we choose? And the light moves from water to water to air. So it's moving from the water to the air. Number 10, Mark went on a search for surfaces that would reflect sharp and clear light rays. Which group would he most likely have encountered in the search? Rough and clear, dull and rough, or shine, shiny and smooth? And the answer would be shiny and smooth. Now for section 2, last part here, it says write the answers for 11 to 15 on the lines provided. Explain why reflected surfaces are non-luminous. Reflective surfaces are non-luminous. So one possible answer is reflected surfaces are non-luminous because they do not emit their own light. Instead, they reflect light rays that reach their shiny and smooth surfaces. For example, still water is reflective. Okay? A mirror is reflective. A shiny spoon can be reflective. Number 12, explain what happens to light rays if they are shone through wax paper. If they go through wax paper. Now, this would be translucent, which means some of the light rays will pass through while others will be scattered in different directions. They will not allow light rays to form a shape. Instead, they will allow the object on the other side to appear fuzzy or blurry or unclear. Explain why we see a mirage, number 13. So we can see a mirage because the air temperature is different. The closer we are to the surface, the hotter it will be. Okay, so the air that is closer to the road is is our different temperature. It's hotter than the what? The air that is above it. This difference forces the light rays to refract as they move from hot to hotter temperatures. That was 13 and no 14. List three mediums to which light travels, and that would be solids, liquids, and gases. Let's go with section the last part of this section. Let's go with 13 no 4 15 on. It says luminous surfaces are similar to illuminated surfaces. Is that true or false? That would be false. One gives off its own light, and the other reflects its own light. Uh, in that respect, they are not similar. Okay, let's go with 16. Refraction is evident in the eye, and that is true because light has to be bent by the lens in your eye, the cornea and the lens in your eye, to allow it to be focused onto the retina. Number 17, the speed of light is different in each medium, and that would be true. As it moves from one to the next, it changes. All right, so that was it for our little pop quiz on science, and we were looking at mostly light and the properties of light. Take the time, go through this quiz again. If you got anything wrong, then you go back to the book, beat it some more so that we can get all our answers correct. Take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.